welcome back to my channel. For those that might be new here, my name is Leah and today I wanted to give you another pregnancy update. I am currently pregnant with baby number 2. I've had a midwife appointment this week as well as an unexpected scan, so I thought it was a good time to give an update. If you get a little bit confused with my updates, if you saw my last one was 32 weeks, but it took me a couple of weeks to get it uploaded. So even though that was only a couple of weeks ago, I am actually further on than that. I'm hoping to get this video up a lot sooner, so I am hoping to get it up in the next few days, so hopefully I will only be maybe 37 weeks at the time when this is uploaded. I always go through a set of questions, which I will do today as well, but I want to try and make sure that I also include some of the updates that have happened in the last week or so, so that you know where I'm at with my pregnancy. So the first question is, how far along am I? And I am currently 36 weeks and 3 days. By the time this video goes up, I will probably be about 37 weeks pregnant. The next question is, am I wearing maternity clothes? Today I'm actually wearing maternity leggings, but the rest of my outfit is not maternity. I'm just wearing a kind of oversized stretched clothing from Primark. The top is just a t-shirt, a long t-shirt that covers my bum, that I got from Primark. This is actually my normal size cardigan. I thought I would purchase a cardigan that I could wear afterwards, and because it doesn't actually have to, it does actually fit around my bump, but it doesn't have to because it's just an open cardigan. So this is just a regular cardigan, but my leggings are maternity leggings that I got from Lidl. Any stretch marks? As I've said on all my previous videos, yes, I have plenty of stretch marks, but a lot of them are from my previous pregnancy. I think I have some new ones kind of appearing above my belly button, and they do seem to be getting more pronounced now. So whether they have kind of stretched from previous stretch marks, I'm not too sure, but they are definitely getting a lot worse. Particularly above my belly button, I am noticing quite a few more stretch marks. So whether I am bigger this time, I think I might be slightly bigger than I was last time, which is understandable for the second pregnancy. So yeah, definitely above my belly button there's quite a lot more stretch marks there, or at least more pronounced than they were before. How am I sleeping? So I get a lot of back pain, and I'm still sleeping with my maternity pillow, although I do have a bit of a love-hate relationship with it. I do need it, but I really don't like it at the same time. And I've heard plenty of pregnant women say the same thing, that although they do use a pregnancy pillow, they hate it at the same time. Mine kind of goes underneath your neck, but I'm finding that whether it's too hard for my neck and my ear, I'm not enjoying that, so we're kind of tucking it under the pillow, I think. I'm not too sure. Keith does that for me, my husband, but it kind of comes down my back, through my legs and up to support my belly, but I do need it. I am waking a number of times throughout the night, and when I'm waking I then need a toilet, so I have to get myself up out of bed. It's recommended that you're meant to sleep on your left side, but I'm finding it really hard to sleep on my left side for some reason. I'm not too sure why, so I'm sleeping on my right side most of the time, so I'm hoping that's not affecting the baby too much. But I'm definitely sleeping on my side. I am a side sleeper anyway, so that's not a problem, but the extra weight there and staying in one position, it is really painful sometimes for your back. I get pain in my middle back, in my lower back and my hip, so that is causing me problems with my sleeping. And then I have a toddler who likes to come in to us anytime from 4 o'clock in the morning, and he can wriggle and kick, and I don't always get a lot of sleep once he's up. Last night he was awake from around, I think it was 1 this morning, and it took Keith about 45 minutes to get him back down. I'm not too sure, because I was in bed, I wasn't 100% sure, and I felt guilty because I should have been the one that was getting up, but obviously being heavily pregnant, that has an effect on me, even though I'm not going to work at the moment. And he is, but he was up and he was trying to get them to go back to sleep, and eventually I actually got up and said, we need to try something different because this isn't working. And it was at that point that he went back to sleep, and he stayed there till actually nearly 20 to 6, quarter to 6 this morning, so that was really good, even though he had been awake in the night. So at least it wasn't 1 o'clock and then 4 o'clock, but that is disturbing my sleep as well. Any movements? I've talked about this before, and yes, I'm getting a heck of a lot of movements, quite painful movements sometimes. This is a little bit of why I had a scan yesterday, where the movements are. When I went to go see my midwife on Tuesday, that was my normal midwife appointment, she was checking to see if the baby's head was down, and she thought that the baby's head was down, and then she wasn't convinced, and the baby was really pushing out, and I got this huge big lump on the kind of near my belly button, just to the side of my belly button, and she's like, I'm not too sure whether that's bump or head. And then she had another feel and she goes, I think that might be the baby's head. And she then thought that the baby was laying more transverse, and I think that's the right word, where basically the baby's laying across your belly, so your head is one side and the bum and the legs are the other side. So that's why she sent me for a scan. When I went for my scan, the midwife who saw me, she had a feel and she said, I think they might be right, I think I might be feeling a back lower down rather than a head. Then I saw a doctor who was also going to scan, and he had a feel as well. He too couldn't feel the baby's head down in my pelvis area. So he scanned up near my belly button and he couldn't see the baby's head. He went down to where my pelvis is and there was the baby's head. So the baby's head was down, which is a good thing, but he had another feel. He said maybe he was being too gentle the first time. Still couldn't feel the baby's head down there. He talked about whether the baby moved a lot, and I said in the evening, yes, I'm getting jabs kind of here, there and everywhere, and I do get like a big lump, kind of something sticking out, whether it's a bum or a head, at the side. When he saw me, this lump actually was on the other side, so it moved from my right side of my belly to my left side of my belly from the previous day. So when I saw the midwife, it was on the right side of my belly. When I saw the doctor yesterday, it was on the left side of my belly. So if that was the bum, then the bum had just moved from one side to the other side. And he talked about whether I had a lot of movement, and I do get a lot of movement. And he said that there's different positions that the baby can be in. They can be head down, they can be breech, they can be transverse, sorry. Or they can have, what was the word he used? I had the word right before this video and now I've forgotten what it is. Basically where the baby moves around all over the place. He said that there's too much room in there and the baby just moves around a lot. And I'm like, sure there's too much room, because I feel so tight. I just feel like all baby, but maybe there is too much room, I don't know. So if that is happening, where the baby's just moving around all over the place, that is neither breech or transverse, because sometimes the baby might be breech, sometimes the baby might be head down, sometimes the baby might be transverse, because they're all over the place. So he decided that because the midwife wasn't convinced that the head was down yesterday or the day before, that they're going to scan me again next week. I will then be 27 weeks, not 27, 37 weeks and 2 days, I think, at that point. And basically, if the baby has moved into a different position, they're saying that this unstable, that's the words, because I remember saying that it takes after its dad, that it's an unstable baby. If the position of the baby is unstable, as in they are moving here, there and everywhere, and you can't guarantee that the baby's head's going to be down or it's going to be breech or this, that, the other, that they will admit me to hospital at 38 weeks. I didn't think in this situation, I thought maybe they'd scan me again. I didn't think they'd offer me a C-section right now. I thought they'd scan me again next week, and if it changed, maybe scan again. Basically what he said was, if the baby's position was not stable, that they would admit me to hospital at 38 weeks and they would keep me anywhere up to 41 weeks, so 3 weeks, waiting to get the baby in the down position on 2 days in a row. So whether they do multiple scans throughout the day, I'm not too sure. They must do to keep you in, otherwise you just go to the hospital every day. And they're looking for the baby to be in the right position 2 days in a row. Then if they get that, they'd send you home and you're just back onto the plan of waiting to go into labour. It just seemed like such a long time to be kept into hospital. Obviously having a toddler, and I am the main caregiver, like he goes to nursery 1 day a week, but the rest of the time, and I get him ready to go to nursery, I take him to nursery and pick him up, so even on that day I'm still responsible for getting to and from nursery. It's very difficult for Keith, his dad, to do that because of where he works and his long hours. Obviously the rest of the time he needs to be looked after, and if I'm in hospital for up to 3 weeks, that's a long time for him to be left with other people. It's a long time for other people to be expected to look after him. Obviously not overnight, because Keith could pick him up and take him home, look after him in the evening and put him to bed and look after him in the first thing in the morning. It's just a huge commitment though, so I've kind of been a little bit panicked about that. And it might not happen, but if next week the scan reveals that the baby's moved into a different position and they will admit me to hospital, we do need to have a bit of an idea in our heads of what we're going to do, because Tommy does need to be looked after. I'm still getting a lot of movements. Just before coming to do this video, the baby was really kicking and moving around, so I don't really know what that means. I am getting a bit of pain down in my pelvis area, so whether that means the head's down, don't know, because that can mean the head's down, that the kind of pressure down there is a bit stronger. Any food cravings? I don't think I've got anything new at the moment. I still like sweet stuff unfortunately, and that's probably caused me to put on far too much weight this pregnancy, far more than I did last time, because I didn't like any sweet stuff last time, which, although I hated not liking sweet stuff, it was probably a blessing in disguise. But other than that, I can't think of anything particular that I've really craved. Anything making me feel sick, eating food still is making me feel sick. It's not making me sick, thank goodness, but I do feel nauseous after I've had a meal. So I've not long had my lunch and I am feeling a little bit nauseous at the moment. It's just kind of like a feeling in my throat and a kind of taste in my mouth. And I don't feel like I'm going to be sick, I just feel a little bit low. Which is a bit of a pain, because if I don't eat, I can feel sick if I don't eat. So it's a vicious circle. You do need to eat, but it can make me feel a little bit nauseous afterwards, which is not fun at all. Gender guess, well, we are having a boy, and I will link our gender reveal video above and below for you, so you can go watch that. Labour signs. I am still having a lot of Braxton Hicks, but they are really strong sometimes. Other than that, I don't think there's any particular labour signs. They can feel quite light contractions at times, but it is different to contractions, and if you're having a contraction, you kind of know, because they kind of increase in pain, whereas Braxton Hicks stay similar and they're there for a period of time and then they're gone, and whereas contractions should progressively get worse, stronger pain, and get closer together, and they should be regular as well. Although my last pregnancy, my labour kept stopping and starting, there was a pattern to my contractions. I was getting them every so many minutes, and they would just stop every now and then, but I definitely knew that I was in labour rather than Braxton Hicks that I'm getting at the moment. Any symptoms? So I have been to the midwife this week, and she gave me the results of my blood test for my iron levels. So last time I was at the midwife, she mentioned that my my iron level had dropped quite a lot from the previous time. She didn't put me on any medication at the moment, but she did say you need to be careful, you need to up your iron intake, and we'll do some more bloods. So she did more bloods, and then I got the results this week, and it had dropped by 1. I think it went from 108 to 107. So she has not put me on any medication, but she said that they will do my bloods again in 2 weeks' time. So I have been trying to increase my iron intake, so I've been eating a lot of greens, so cabbage, spinach, been having green smoothies, drinking orange juice with any meal that's got a lot of iron in, because it helps your body absorb the iron. I've been eating bran flakes, red meat, so I'm trying my best to increase my iron levels. I am exhausted, so maybe that's why. I'm obviously exhausted because I'm pregnant, but if my iron levels are a bit low, that's not going to help the situation. but hopefully I've increased my iron level enough that they don't put me on medication. I'm guessing it'll happen at some point. It did last time. It's really hard to maintain that iron level at the end because the baby's taking so much from you, so I'm probably going to go on to iron tablets at some point, no doubt, but I'm hoping to kind of reduce the chances of it so early on. I've still got a few weeks left. I don't really want to go on them just yet, but what will be. I will do my best to increase my iron levels in the next couple of weeks, so that when I have my next midwife appointment, hopefully those results will come back and it's either stayed the same or increased some. So hopefully I can do that, but I am just trying to increase my iron levels at the moment. Other than that, everything is pretty normal. Obviously back pain, but that's just comes with pregnancy, unfortunately. So other than normal pregnancy stuff like back pain and feeling tired, everything seems to be fine, just my iron levels are a little bit low at the moment. One thing I forgot to mention in my last update that I should mention this time is kind of like a symptom. I've been getting a lot of pain above my belly button. I did mention it last time. I said I would talk about it further and I didn't. And it's just, I think it's where the skin or the muscles are kind of pulling and ripping. It's not as bad as it has been, so maybe the damage has been done now. But every time I coughed, sneezed, if I did a lot of bending down throughout the day, it was so painful. And it was just like one section about so big above my belly button that just like on my skin, it was just so painful. I did mention it to my midwife. She didn't really seem too concerned. She just said it could just be the stretching. Unfortunately, there's not a lot you can do about that. But that has been, or had been, extremely painful. But maybe the damage has been done now and it's stretched, and so the pain is not there quite as much as it was. My belly button in or out? Definitely out. Although when the baby kind of contracts or having like a Braxton Hicks, it kind of goes flat, which is a bit weird, but other than that, yeah, definitely out. My wedding rings on or off? They are still on and still moving around fine. I can take them off, no problem. Am I happier or moody most of the time? I'm probably feeling more emotional than anything else. Still quite stressed. I have ticked off a lot on the list that needed to be done, although I have a long list of things that need doing, but I can't do a lot of that. Some of it will have to wait. I'll just have to live without those things being done, but things that needed buying, the list is nearly finished. We just have a few extra bits to do. My bag for the hospital is almost finished. Baby's bag is, I've got a bag for Tommy in case he stays over somewhere, or if someone has him for the day, he's got some bits with him. I just need to find a bag to put that in. So I'm almost there with those bags. And after my appointment yesterday with the doctor, I felt like I need to get on these things now, because this time next week there could be a decision that I'm going to be admitted to hospital, and then I'll have to do a new bag. I'll have to have a bag, like a pre-labour bag, to stay in hospital, but I just need all these other things done. I need to know that we've got the pushchair and we've got the baby's, where the baby's going to be sleeping. But yeah, I have also been feeling quite emotional. I have been losing my patience with Tommy. Just, he's a toddler and he is beginning to become defiant. Like, he doesn't want to do what I want him to do, and he should. It's not naughtiness, although he's learning the things he shouldn't do and he's starting to do them, if that makes any sense. He's testing boundaries, and my boundaries are limited at the moment. And the other day I really annoyed at him that he wasn't doing what I was needing him to do. And I got quite emotional about it, because it's not his fault I'm pregnant. It's not his fault that I am uncomfortable, that I don't have the patience to deal with him. What am I looking forward to? I'm looking forward to getting Tommy's bedroom finished. I have got no control over it because I've been told I'm not allowed to paint. So I'm waiting on Keith finishing it off, but it's really difficult because he works long hours. He's working late tonight and tomorrow night. And when I mean late, I'm talking he'll get home about 9:30, 10 o'clock tonight and tomorrow night. So he won't be able to do anything until the weekend. So just hopefully this weekend we can get that finished. I'm not looking to decorate other than painting, so I'm not going to do any accessories in the room. We just need to get it painted, get his furniture in there, and then hopefully get him in there. The nursery, we're not doing anything to the nursery, but I have put all of the baby's clothes in there now, so we just need to kind of get it a bit more organised, but it's generally done. So once he's in his bedroom, we can get everything back to normal. Our bedroom is chocker. You're seeing the nice side of the bedroom, but everything like under the bed, we've just stashed stuff everywhere because we had to clear his bedroom, or the spare bedroom, of everything, and some of this, we've cleared a lot of stuff out, but some of the stuff has to go back in there because we've got nowhere else for it to go, and I'm looking forward to getting things back in order. We need a bit more space in our bedroom, so some of the stuff has to come out in order to put the baby's crib into the bedroom, and needs doing ASAP so we can get on top of everything. And I feel more relaxed about the idea that I may have to go into hospital knowing that everything's done, or as much as possible is done. I am looking forward to Tommy's bedroom being finished and getting our house back in order, and just getting some normality back into our life. I apologise if the camera's moved, but I've just realised, I've just finished the video and I've just realised I forgot to mention one thing that I wanted to talk about in this video. And when I saw the doctor for my scan yesterday, he asked me if I had considered being induced a bit earlier, because I'm 40 now, for those that don't know. When I first fell pregnant, I saw the midwife and I mentioned that I would be 40 when this baby arrived, and would they be inducing me early, and she said no, there was no concern, because I was 39 when I announced my pregnancy, that there would be no concern. I would be basically treated exactly the same as any other woman who was pregnant. But he mentioned it and talked about the fact that women over the age of 40, there is a higher risk of stillbirths past 40 weeks, and would I consider being induced at 40 weeks and not going over 40 weeks. Now, for those that know when I'm due, if I go over a week, I'll be having a Christmas baby, as in Christmas Day, Boxing Day kind of date. So I'm quite eager for the baby to come before that. But obviously, when the baby's ready to come is the best time. But I have had a little bit concerned about this myself. And I think it's just down to the statistics of the area, that some areas might be more concerned about age than others, and it seems in the area that I'm at it's not a concern, but possibly that's because there are more younger mums rather than mums of my age or older. So the statistics of 40-year-olds or older being pregnant in this area might be less. There's not as many women, so the statistics are going to be low. That doesn't mean it's not a problem or an issue, and that's something, I don't know, they need to look into it more. So I did say that I would consider that. Whether that'll happen or not, I'm not too sure. If that does happen and I am admitted to hospital, then it would only be a 2-week in hospital, not 3 weeks in hospital, because obviously 38 weeks admitted to 40 weeks being induced, or having a C-section if the baby still was unstable in their position. But I just wanted to mention that. I don't know what's going to happen, whether that will definitely happen or not. I'll be seeing my midwife again in 2 weeks' time, so I can mention it to her and just see what she says. But that's the first time anyone has mentioned anything to me about my age. I think if I was to fall pregnant again and I'd already be 40 or older, then it would be a concern. But because I was 39 when I fell pregnant, they weren't concerned, but this doctor did bring it up. So I think I'm happy to be induced at 40 weeks. Tommy was a big baby, and I think this baby's going to be big as well, and I'm hoping that makes it a bit easier to deliver if I have to deliver naturally, because I had a hard time of it last time, and he was a big baby, so hard to deliver, and I ended up with forceps. So it's whatever's best for the baby, and obviously me as well, but that is something that was brought up. I just thought I'd mention it. And finally the belly shot, so I will just show you what my belly's looking like at the moment. So this is my belly from the front. I'll try and show you as quickly as possible because my battery is flashing at me. I'm in my bedroom and the space is really tight in here, so I can't move any further back, but I don't want to move you elsewhere because the battery is flashing at me. So this is my belly from the front. You can see where my belly button is, just there. and at the side, if I move back a little bit, you can just see how big it is. I forgot to mention that I am measuring on the 90th percentile, so when the midwife measures you, like your, I don't know what it is to measure, from along your belly, I'm on the 90th percentile. I am just slightly ahead, so I measured at 37 weeks when I was 36 plus 1. They're not too concerned with that. So this is what it's at the side. Let's see if I can show you the other side. Well, that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I will try and do an update next week after I've had my next scan, just to see where we are with things, to see if I'm going to be going to hospital or not, and try and get that uploaded before I am taken into hospital if that happens. But I will try and get that done. Difficult at the moment because I'm so tired and I've got a toddler and I'm finding it hard to get much else done on top of what I need to do on a daily basis. But thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!